Hello everyone, welcome back to college football's reactions, specifically week 2 for the Texas-Michigan game, and oh, it feels so good. It feels so good. We went down to Ann Arbor in our first real big test of the season, and we passed. We passed with flying colors. Texas dominated something like 30-something to 12, and that makes it look way better than it actually was. It was like 30-something to 6 up until the last 2 minutes when Michigan scored a garbage time touchdown. But yes, it was just a great showing for the Longhorns. Just so many things went right. We were fantastic on third down. At no point during a third down did I was I ever kind of inconfident that we couldn't get it done, even when we were kind of stuffed on first and second. Running game was great once again. Just every time we ran, we got past the line of scrimmage. There was never a point where we got stuffed behind the line. It was just a great time running there. Kind of looking through my notes. Our offense made life difficult for the Michigan defense. Apparently, they didn't have as much depth as we did, so whenever they had to switch out the defenses, it wasn't as good. They didn't have as much talent there, so that became a problem for them and made it pay for it. A lot of touchdowns. And our defense, it did really well. It got lots of turnovers from Michigan. Granted, also how much of that is just Michigan's offense is kind of not that great. They're kind of running a two QB system. That's not the best. Michigan, it's clear from this game that, yeah, a lot of people were right in the sense that Michigan is not the team that won the national championship last year, which makes sense. The coach is gone, the QB's gone. A lot of players were drafted, so maybe that tempers it a little, but it's still beating the defending national champions, so I'm still happy with it here. But yeah, we got a lot of turnovers. Thanks to the defense, we got a lot of turnovers on Michigan. And apparently they have a sword thing that they put all the turnover balls on Texas's sideline. That thing was cool. That was cool. It wasn't perfect, especially in the early part. We had some penalty issues. Ewers' accuracy with throwing the ball, it was okay. It was I think it was 60%, 66%, which is no, it's above average. It's good. It's not an insane oh wow, when he throws, it's going into the receiver's hands kind of thing, like something crazy 80%, but 60-ish is still pretty good. It's still all right, and it got the job done. But yeah, this was a fantastic win for the Longhorns. I cannot believe I almost said that. It's a fantastic win for the Longhorns. A big statement win. Puts us onto the playoff conversation map. And look, our schedule eases up, but I don't want to say that it eases up because you still have to play those teams in front of you, and we'll get to it. But let's just say, no, there is no easy wins here. There is no kick. You have to play the game. You have to execute. You have to win those easier games. They're still completely losable, and you'll see why I'm kind of making a point about that here soon. But that was the Texas game. Now let's move on to kind of the rest of week 2. I don't think I watched as much, or maybe, yeah, I don't think I really watched as much as last time, but that makes sense. So first up, Smoo. Come on, Smoo. I gassed you up in the last video, and then you go and lose to the BYU Soakers. Really? I mean, I don't think it's going to matter too much because, Georgia Tech also lost, so the ACC is still wide open for Smoo to win, but you really don't like to see a performance like that. I don't. Mostly field goals from both sides, but mostly field goals from Smoo, and in the end, BYU was the better team, and it really stinks that Smoo lost there. Next game I watched, I flipped through, kind of skimmed through some of the other stuff that was happening during the Texas-Michigan game, but for the most part, I was just watching Texas-Michigan because it was kind of the only really big important game at noon. But like other game I want to talk about, Iowa State versus Iowa. So I was fully expecting Iowa to just kind of dominate this thing, and halftime they're up like what 14-3, 14-0, and like it was kind of a standard Iowa game where like the offense is really anemic and doesn't get a whole lot, and the defense mostly carries. Then Iowa State slowly started chipping away at that lead, slowly started getting back in the game, and then they kicked the game-winning field goal, and Iowa State won the game. So that was not expected, and I don't know what happened on defense for Iowa that like got Iowa State back in this game, but yeah, that's a pretty big blow to Iowa at this point and their playoff chances, because I don't think they're gonna win the Big Ten. I think at this point, with how well they've been playing and with how Michigan's kind of fallen off, I think that's Ohio State's tile to lose. But a loss like that's not going to help them get into the non-conference other, I think, 7 teams that would make the playoffs. But yeah, that's not a great loss for Iowa. Great, congratulations to Iowa State. You're winning your trophy this week. Oh, let's get into the big one. So, Notre Dame goes and embarrasses A&M. And I was laughing at A&M for losing to Notre Dame because Notre Dame's terrible. And now you see why they're terrible. It's the same crap every year, every freaking year with Notre Dame. They get these wins and then they lose to freaking Northern Illinois. And like Northern Illinois was playing against Notre Dame and the refs. That no call on the first down was terrible. At the end of the game was terrible. But like I said, this should not be unexpected. This is what Notre Dame does every year. Why do we keep having them highly ranked? They shouldn't be even ranked at the end of this week. That's how unconfident I am in this Notre Dame. They keep doing this stuff, and we keep letting them get away with the stuff. Notre Dame doesn't belong in the playoffs. They barely belong in the conversation of Power Fives. They're a Group of 5 team. Notre Dame is nothing. They don't matter. They haven't mattered for 30 years. Freaking Notre Dame. So I don't know if I said it yet, but yeah, Notre Dame lost to freaking Northern Illinois, like I want to say 15-16 or something really bad like that. But yeah, embarrassing loss, but also completely expected. Look, Notre Dame losing in embarrassing fashion to a Group of 5 team would be funny if it weren't so damn predictable. Everyone could see this coming. It's not funny. It's just aggravated and annoying. I don't want Notre Dame to keep doing this and keep getting made fun. I want them to be better. This isn't funny. This isn't interesting. This is entertaining. It's dumb and annoying, and I don't want it anymore. Be better. But yeah, that's my rant on Notre Dame this week. And if it makes it any better, it means that A&M's loss against them is even worse. Because A&M sucks. Anyway, so the next game I watched was the big Nebraska-Colorado game. And that was really bad for Colorado. It was like 28-0 at halftime. And the end final score was like 28-10. Like, Nebraska didn't even score again for the rest of the game after halftime, but it didn't matter because Colorado wasn't getting squat. So, yeah, really, really embarrassing loss for Colorado. A lot of questions need to be answered. I think it's only been 2 years, but I think the Prime experiment might not be going too well. As for Nebraska, I mean, they're 2-0, and they don't really have a crazy hard game until Ohio State. So I think it is possible that they finally break their no bowl game streak here. The question is whether they're going to do anything more. I don't really think so. I think it's only year 2 of the Matt Rule era in Nebraska. I think they are in the upswing, but I don't think they're there yet, you know? But again, their schedule, it's going to be pretty smooth again, unless they screw something up, which look at Notre Dame. You can screw something up you could screw up an easy schedule very easily. So as long as they don't trip up at any point between now and Ohio State, I think they're going to be good for being bowl eligible again. So I think Nebraska's okay, but like, yeah, the game, it was over at halftime. I barely even watched the second half. I just started watching the Boise-Oregon game at that point because I know, okay, yeah, it's done. Colorado's not coming back 28-0. If it was 28-3 at half, I would have said they had a chance, but it wasn't 28-3. It was 28-0. So yeah, not a good game for Colorado, and things are looking up for Nebraska. So I was kind of half watching the Oregon Boise game because realistically I was actually working on another video here, but I was watching the Oregon Boise game and Boise was winning at halftime. I was like, oh well, there goes Oregon's season. They're gonna lose this. They're gonna lose their 7 rank. That stings. But after I was finished, I came back. It was like 2 minutes left and it was tied. I'm like, okay, it's still kind of embarrassing that it's tied, but Oregon's in a position where they could win, and they did take that opportunity. They won the game on a game-winning field goal at the end of it. So Oregon did win. I don't know if they're going to get penalized for it. I think they maybe should. At the very great, they might get penalized a little by it, but how much that's going to be offset by Notre Dame losing and hopefully not being ranked next week. God, I hope Notre Dame's not ranked next week. Maybe they might go down 1 spot, maybe 2 spots. Maybe because of that Notre Dame thing, they might just kind of stay where they are. Like, Oregon's has looked shaky 2 games into the season, and I'm really concerned once they start playing against other Big Ten teams like Ohio and USC. So a little bit of concern for the Ducks, but I mean, they're still 2-0, so you know, hopefully they can figure out what's going on before that becomes an issue. Last game I kind of watched, UNT Stephen F. Austin. Didn't think you'd expect a group of 5 team to be on here. So yeah, UNT had another pretty good game. They got the job. Granted, they were favored, Stephen F. was like a 20-point dog to them, and they still were in like that 2 touchdown range, which was better, which means that UNT didn't cover, but like, it's still a win. That's all that matters. And UNT is still 2-0 going in here, and they're playing Texas Tech soon here. That's going to be interesting. And so the reason why I'm talking about UNT because they're my second team behind the Longhorns. So their team I want to do well here, and hopefully they'll do well against Tech. But yeah, they got the win on Saturday, and generally things are looking all right for Mean Green. So yeah, I guess those are my thoughts on college football this week. Join in next week as the Longhorns, I believe they're playing UT San Antonio, which UT San Antonio is a good team. That's not something we can't look past. I mean, we can never look past opponent we're playing because that's how you get Notre Dame's. But it's a less of a test than this week, but you still gotta win. You still gotta play the game in front of you. You still gotta win, and hopefully the Longhorns will do that and will win against the Roadrunners here. But yeah, that's week 2 of the college football in the books. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe and check out my other content. Till then, bye.